Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Leftist Losers Show, where we point out all of the losers of the left. And this morning we got some big news. I don't even know if you can call it news yet, but we've got some rumors flying around X, and we'll go ahead and start off with this political ad. Ex-DNC Vice Chair Biden must be pushed to drop out. And this is the topic for this morning. Everybody's still talking about the debate and just how awful Biden did. Or how he looked. It's not even that he necessarily did terrible. He did terrible, but he operated as he's been operating, which is in a state of dementia. And we kind of all saw this coming. We just weren't sure if they were going to have the goofballs to get him through it, just like the State of the Union address, or if it was just going to end up being a nightmare. And well, it turned out to be a nightmare for him. And honestly, at this point, with how in sync all these places are with regards to getting him out of there, it almost seems like this was planned. I mean, there's no way if you were paying attention that you wouldn't have seen this coming, but regardless, so now you've got articles like this one pushing for Biden to drop out. We've got tweets from Bill O'Reilly talking about possibly some insider knowledge regarding him dropping out. Tucker Carlson's got a tweet talking about it, or sorry, I should say X post talking about it. I got polling data to show you guys, and we're just going to go through this stuff today. So let's just go ahead and jump right over to Bill O'Reilly over on X, and here's the tweet that he had just a couple hours ago. Here's a Biden update from BillO'Reilly.com news headquarters. The decision has been made that the president will quit the campaign. 2 reasons: Democrat internal polling saying he cannot recover from the debate, and fundraising is drying up, which, not surprising. It seems like a terrible investment or bet at this point. So it's over to Joe. So it's over for Joe, but the White House doesn't yet know how or when to make the announcement. Stay close, and that's the second. So yeah, I'm not sure what's more interesting, the news about Biden or the fact that you're still alive. Wow, that's funny. All right, anyways, so I mean, if he's got insider knowledge, I don't know, but I don't think it would be surprising either way if this ended up being a reality. So, and then Tucker Carlson posted this. From a usually good source, maybe the same as Bill O'Reilly's, who knows, Obama's tweet supporting Joe Biden was disingenuous. In private, Obama is telling people Biden can't win, and he is therefore in favor of an open convention. Obama will not say whom he supports, nor of yesterday afternoon had he met personally with Biden to deliver the message. Relations between Obama and the Bidens have never been warm. At times they've been hostile, but recently they've devoted the further, mostly due to Jill Biden. In the hours and days after the debate, she kept her husband consolidated away from anyone who might convince him to drop out. Jill Biden is the driving force behind her husband's re-election campaign, and as she was in 2020, when other members of the family, including Biden's sister Val, considered him too impaired to run. The next generation of political Democratic candidates understands all this as an opportunity, and they're circling. Particularly Gretchen Whitmer, who is promoting herself aggressively. Yeah, holy shit. Let me just go ahead and put this in real quick. No. Gretchen Whitmer is Hillary Clinton on steroids in the direction of lowering her IQ. She is more evil than Hillary Clinton and dumber. And that's, yeah, at least Hillary Clinton has some kind of, master plan going on. I don't think Gretchen Whitmer does. I think she's just a psycho Karen who would be an absolute nightmare in the White House. So let's hope that doesn't become a thing. But yeah, so I mean, I don't think it's surprising. I mean, like we've seen in videos and in interviews, like the Obamas put the act on, they put on the double face, but they don't seem to support Biden, and I don't think they ever really liked him. I think it was just politically convenient for them, and they have to support their party at this point. Otherwise, they don't keep up their image, and it just causes problems. So anyways, Tucker Carlson posting that, and then I want to jump on over to polling. Man, and this is what they were talking about earlier with why Biden's probably going to drop out. I mean, look at these, look at the graph. Okay, Trump's been killing him for quite some time, and the gap was a lot wider, at the beginning of the end of 2023. And I think the economy really started to help Biden. You saw the stock market start to really go crazy around the December, January, February time period. You see Biden's numbers start going up. But wow, you just look, his is going straight down and Trump's is going straight up. And you look at the numbers, he's got, at an aggregate, he's got a 1.9 lead, which doesn't sound like much, but you got to remember every time we see polling in previous campaigns, if Trump's down by a point, he's actually around even, and if Biden's up at all, it's like they're up a ton because the polling skews Democrat. Or I'm sorry, if the Biden's up like 1 point, it's actually neutral. Sorry, I had those mixed. But yeah, no, it's looking really good for Trump. I mean, we can go over the next poll. These are the betting odds. Trump has a 54.3 average over Biden's 19.5. That's crazy. Which honestly, if I mean, if it wasn't attached to Biden, if you could just do Democrat or Republican and it was still these odds, I would slap so much money onto the Democratic number, only because I don't think this election will be fair. I mean, we haven't seen any of the universal mail-in ballots get pulled, like those laws get removed. So I still think the Democrats are going to be able to pull off some shenanigans in terms of like ballot harvesting like crazy. You got to remember, guys, so the universal mail-in ballots, that was the shadow campaign, air quotes, that got the Democrats over the line with Biden the last time. And why is that? Well, you got to remember, most Democrats live in urban areas and cities. So when they want a ballot harvest, one activist can walk into a building with 100 apartments in it, right? And then they can go to door and knock on all 100 of those doors in like maybe 4 hours, like a couple hours, and they can potentially harvest all those ballots and go drop them off. Whereas if you go to Republican districts, they're out in the country usually. How long is it going to take you to get to 100 doors in a Republican district? Probably a lot longer. And there's a lot less Republicans that are, activists who are willing to go around and not have a job and focus on politics. And yeah. So anyways, you can see how that really helps the Democrats out. I mean, also look at this drop though on that that big average number. That is insane, man. That is just absolutely insane. But this is gonna be crazy. It's gonna be really, really interesting. We'll end up seeing what happens with regards to the election. Like I said, I'd bet money on the Democrats. If Trump ends up leading this heavily and continues and it gets worse, they're gonna have to pull some really, really shady shit to pull this one over for the Democrats or the establishment. And even if they pull it off, it might, again, one thing I think that Trump did really well was if nothing else, he came in and he pointed out all of the crazy stuff that the establishment does to maintain power. And a lot of us had a hood over our head and just weren't paying attention. And did the rah-rah patriot thing, which is fine, but you just start to realize that there are people in power who are extremely shady. I mean, everyone knows that. That's the stereotype, and Trump did a great job of getting those people to expose themselves, because in desperation to maintain that power, they had to do stuff that regular people are disgusted by. And yeah, so if they got to do crazy stuff to pull this election, it might be beneficial in the long run, because it'll be like ripping off the Band-Aid. We'll see these people do some really messed up stuff, and hopefully that will wake a lot of regular people up to be like, hey man, we got to stop letting these people just bulldoze us, because I mean, look how they're just destroying everything. It's awful. And I'm going to jump over to Big Fish, who retweeted something too. So apparently Anthony Scaramucci tweeted out saying, X posted, I went to the President Biden's fundraiser in East Hampton, and I thought he did quite well reading the teleprompter today and meeting with people. However, that is not going to be enough to prove to the American people that he's up for another 4 years. This is okay. And Brian Stelter responded with, he used a teleprompter at a fundraiser. Which, okay, Brian Stelter is awful. So, yeah, it's kind of funny to see him calling him out, but wow. I mean, just wow, man. He's using fun. Yeah, I mean, are we surprised? We just saw the debate. Are we really surprised he's using a teleprompter? It's so sad. Oh, man, it's so sad. But all right, I'll cut this short now. I've been rambling long enough. Yeah, so just get on over to Real Clear Polling. Check out these aggregates of polls, all these different polls, and just look for yourself, man. It's crazy. It's crazy. I think if they don't do enough, Trump's gonna just crush this election at this point. But if they pull some really crazy stuff, then it'll expose them, and we'll just make sure we call them out, and we'll have to do our best to get them voted out or get them removed, whatever we can do. Right? Anyways, guys, I really appreciate all the support. My last video got a lot of views, and it was awesome to see. Please comment below things I can improve on. I'm trying to get better recording equipment to get the voice cleaned up and the background noise removed, stuff like that. So anything I can do to make these videos better, I would appreciate the recommendations down below. So if you could please like or even subscribe, that would be awesome. But if you can nothing else, just like or dislike the video, just engage with it. That would be great. I would really appreciate that. I will be back later today with some more news. So I appreciate you guys, and I'll talk to you in a few. Peace.